Welcome MTG Burgeoning viewer. This is a quick message to remind you of our rewards for September. If we get at least 30 subscribers during the month of September, then one subscriber will be chosen at random and receive an entire set of Modern Horizon art cards. Also, any subscriber who comments on every MTG Burgeoning video during the month of September will become eligible for the October Pack Wars. On October 1st, a list will be compiled of all subscribers that commented on every MTG Burgeoning video released during September. From this list, one subscriber will be chosen at random to participate in the October Pack Wars for free. If the chosen subscriber is already a Pack Wars supporter or member, then that subscriber will receive a second spot in the October Pack Wars. So be sure to leave a comment and prepare for war. We are MTG Burgeoning. This is Kitchen Table Friday. Subscribe now and join the movement. Hello and welcome back, everybody. This is MTG Burgeoning, and this is Friday, so that means it is Kitchen Table Series Friday. This is actually deck tech number 10. We are 10 decks into this series. And for today, this is going to finish our sub-series of allied colored kitchen table decks. We began the kitchen table series with 5 monocolor decks. And then we transitioned to the allied colors. And in today's deck, we are going to break down a deck tech of what I call Selesnya Lands. So let's get started and see exactly what Selesnya Lands actually means. Let's start with the mana base. 12 forests. 12 basic forests. Right there on Gideon's face. Next 4 lands are the Canopy Vista. Notice the Forest Plains subset. It enters the battlefield tapped unless we control 2 or more basics. Okay. 4. 1 playset of Canopy Vista. Rounding out our mana base is a full playset of Temple Garden. Again, the Forest Plains. It's going to be important. That's going to be a trend throughout this deck. Shockland, you know what the story is on that. So that's 20 lands, 12 basics, 4 Canopy Vistas, and 4 Temple Gardens. But we're not done with our mana yet. Let's ramp it up some more. Soul Ring, it's kitchen table, so it's legal. Soul Ring is in. Next, we have a playset of Utopia Sprawl. This awesome aura is a green, and it only can enchant a forest. Luckily for us, we have nothing but forests. So when it comes into play, we choose a color. We will be choosing white. And when the enchanted forest is tapped for mana, we also add a white to it. So if one play set of Utopia Sprawl comes in, we put it on one of our forests, we say white. When we tap it, we're getting another white. All right, and next up is a play set of Nissa's Triumph. For 2 green, we search our library for 2 basic forest cards. If we control a Nissa Planeswalker, and a big piece of the puzzle falls into place. If we control a Nissa Planeswalker, search our library for 3 land cards. Notice, it says 3 land cards. It does not say 2 forest cards. It does not say 3 forest cards. 3 land cards. Put them into our hand and shuffle our library. 1 playset of Nissa's Triumph. Ending our ramp, we have Gaia's Touch. For 2 green, we may put an additional land in play during each of our turns, but it can only be a basic forest. It cannot be a Canopy Vista. It cannot be a Temple Garden. And we can also sacrifice this for 2 green. 2 copies of Gaia's Touch. Okay, So, next up, if we're playing with the deck called Selesnya Lands and we're getting our lands into play, clearly it indicates that our lands are important to us. And if that's the case, well, then let's make sure we can make them indestructible. 2 and a white, all lands are indestructible. We're not worried about our opponent's lands. Maybe this is MTG Burgeoning being a little overcautious, but a full play set of Terra Eternal is going to be very important, not just to protect our lands, but to protect our creatures. Foreshadowing continues, baby. And I'll just come out and say it right now so that there's no misunderstandings. There are no creature spells in this deck. As another piece of the puzzle is about to fall into place, here is a play set of Earth Surge. From Dissension. No, wait, is this Dissension? No, from Guild Pact. This is Guild Pact. From Guild Pact, each land gets +2/+2 as long as it's a creature. One play set of Earth Surge. Alright, so we have no creatures, we have lots of lands, we have indestructible lands, we have lands that are getting +2/+2. So how the heck are we going to have creatures and land? How are we going to win? Well, here's one way. Encircling Fissure. This is an instant for 2 and a white. We prevent all combat damage that will be dealt this turn by creatures target opponent controls. But it has the Awaken 2 mechanic. We can tap 4 and a white, and if we cast this spell for 4 and a white, we can also put 2 +1/+1 counters on target land we control, and it becomes a 0/0 elemental creature with haste, and it still counts as a land. This is not the best use of this spell. This is more of slowing down our opponents as we try to ramp up and build our land army. One play set, Encircling Fissure. Next up is a Planar Outburst. For 3 and 2 white, destroy all non-land creatures. This has the Awaken 4 mechanic, so for 5 and triple white, we can cast the spell and put 4 +1/+1 counters on target land we control, and it becomes a 0/0 elemental with haste, still a land. So for 5 and triple white, we destroy all non-land creatures and then create a 0/0 elemental creature with 4 +1/+1 counters. This one, a little overpriced, but again, this is more for the protection. Destroy all non-land creatures. Ours will never die. All right. So now let's get to the spells that we're going to rely on to create our land creatures. And the first one is going to be Wall of Resurgence. For 2 and a white, this uncommon from Oath of the Gatewatch is an 0/6 wall, and when it ETBs, we put 3 +1/+1 counters on target land we control. If we do, that land becomes a 0/0 elemental creature with haste that's still a land. So for 2 and a white, we get an 0/6 wall and a 3/3 land creature. Full play set, 4 of them. Awakening of Vitu-Ghazi. It's still mind-boggling to me that this was not a more popular card during the time it was in Standard. It really is surprising to me. For 3 and 2 green, we put 9 +1/+1 counters on target land we control. It becomes a legendary 0/0 elemental creature with haste named Vitu-Ghazi, and it's still a land. 4 copies for a 9/9 creature that costs 5 at instant speed. Seriously, come on now. Alright, so we're down to our last half dozen spells, and these are the spells that are going to make everything come together and work. And we're going to start and end with Nissa's. Nissa Vital Force. Planeswalker, +1, we untap a land we control, and it becomes a 5/5 elemental creature with haste, and it's still a land. Of course, it's only till the end of turn, but we still get it for a turn. For -3, we return a permanent card from our graveyard to our hand, and if we use her ultimate ability, we get an emblem with whenever a land enters the battlefield under our control, we may draw a card. Wow, landfall to draw a card. Nissa Vital Force, 2 copies. The next Nissa on display will be Nissa World Waker. For 3 and 2 green, we can +1 her, and target land we control becomes a 4/4 elemental creature with trample. It's still a land. Now notice, it becomes, so it's not till the end of turn like Nissa Vital Force. Nissa World Waker makes it a land and keeps it a land. For +1, we can untap up to 4 target forests. Again, earlier in this deck tech, we were talking about how forest was an important part of the deck. 12 basic forests, a temple garden, which is a forest plain, and the canopy vista, which is also forest plains. Nissa World Waker pluses to untap 4 of our lands. And guess what, folks? They're going to be our creatures as well. And her ultimate ability of -7, we can search our library for any number of basic land cards, put them onto the battlefield, shuffle our library, and those lands are 4/4 elemental creatures with trample, and they're still lands. And we got 12 basics in the deck, 2 Nissa World Wakers. And lastly, to round out the deck, you know who it is, folks. You know what she's shaking. She's not vital and she's not waking. She's Nissa who is shaken. Whenever we tap a forest for mana, add an additional green. Again, that's why all of our lands have the forest subtype. +1, we can put 3 +1/+1 counters on up to 1 target non-creature land we control. We untap it, and it becomes a 0/0 elemental creature with vigilance and haste that's still a land. Similar to Nissa World Waker, and unlike Nissa Vital Force, the land stays a creature. It's not just till the end of turn. And if we ultimate Nissa, we get an emblem with lands we control have indestructible. And then we search our library for any number of forest cards and put them onto the battlefield tapped. Shuffle our library. So we pretty much have indestructible lands, and we put every single one from our library into play. Nissa Who Shakes the World, 2 copies. And folks, that is MTG Burgeoning's Selesnya Lands deck. I guess we can now put the real name out there, Selesnya Land Creature deck. We've seen the deck tech. Now, let's check out how it pilots. All right, so let's give the Selesnya Land Creature deck a go-to spin. This is MTG Burgeoning Kitchen Table Series, deck tech number 10. We are 10 decks in to this series, and the next one after this, we're going to move to the enemy colored land, or enemy colored pairings. Okay, so let's see. All right, so shuffle up, give ourselves a cut. All right, Nissa, let's see how we do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Good start. Excellent start. Oh boy, this is going to be great. Come on, give us... All right, that's a lot of land. That's a lot of ramp to begin with. All right, you know what? We're going to roll with this. There's our turn counter to see how we do. All right, let's roll with it. Let's do it. Draw a card. Oh, there she is. This is going to be great. Utopia Sprawl. Going in the play on turn 1, naming white. So that we know that when we tap that, we can add 1 white mana to our mana pool in addition to our green. All right, that was a pretty good turn 1. Now let's move to turn 2. We're drawing. Oh, nice. All right, this is great. So we'll play that land, and we're going to tap this for 1, 2 with our white floating. We're going to cast our Gaia's Touch. We'll play an additional basic forest as per Gaia's Touch's criteria. And you know what? I think what we're going to do is we're going to sacrifice that for 2 green, use our floating white, and we're going to cast a Wall of Resurgence. That comes into play. We put 3 +1/+1 counters on a land we control. And we are ready to roll now, baby. Wow, that was all on turn 2. Here we go. Turn 3, we untap. We got our hand here. We draw an Encircling Fissure. Not bad at all. We play a land. And you know what? We're going to tap 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. We're casting Nissa. We are going to untap a forest. Zoop. Putting 3 +1/+1 counters on that. And we're attacking for 3. And with Nissa over there, she's going to move up to Loyalty 6 because of the +1. And this is turn 3, folks. And look at the board state we have. Let's just draw one more card and see what we were going to, how much more we could do here. We draw a card, turn 4 for a Utopia Sprawl, which at this point seems redundant, but let's do it anyways. Let's go. We'll tap that for 2 green. And of course we'll have 1 green floating, because we'll use the 1 green to put onto this, naming white again, so that when we tap that, we get the additional white. So when we tap this land, we're getting 4. So then let's take our, tap this for 4, 2 green and 2 white. Still have a green floating over there. And we'll cast Earth Surge, giving each land creature +2/+2. We plus Nissa up to 1. We'll just untap that land, throwing 3 +1/+1 counters on it, giving it, also it has haste. And you know what? I think we're just ready to roll. I mean, we declare combat. We're sending 15, 5, 10, 15. This is turn 4, folks. Let's do it again. All right, so let's play test this deck one more time. That first one, boy, oh boy, that was something special. Oh, baby. Okay, shuffle, shuffle, cut. Let's see if we can top that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and card number 7. All right, Planar Outburst. Temple Garden with a forest. There's our girl Nissa. Oh no, no early ramp. There's Gaia's Touch. That'll be good. And this is Triumph. All right, let's roll with it. Here we go. Turn number 1. We draw. Ooh, don't really want 2 of those in our hand. We'll play a tapped Temple Garden. We move to turn 2. We draw another Gaia's Touch. All right, it's going to be okay. We go 1, we go 2, we play a Gaia's Touch, we play basic. Okay, excellent. We untap. This is going to work out well. Turn 3, we draw a card, Utopia Sprawl. Excellent. All right, so let's see. We got to be careful here. We got a couple of double greens. So let's tap our Temple Garden to Utopia Sprawl on that forest. Okay, we Utopia Sprawl, naming white, of course. And we're going to tap. Actually, I wonder if I didn't do... maybe it would have been a better idea if I didn't do that, but let's roll with it. 2 green with a white floating. And we're going to cast Nissa's Triumph. Let's search our library for a couple of basic forests and put them into our hand. We'll do this off camera to save time. All right, so we got our 2 forests that we're going to put into our hand. We are afforded the opportunity to play another land, which we will. We'll sacrifice this Gaia's Touch to play another Gaia's Touch, playing the other land. All right, that was all turn 3. So we move to turn 4. We untap all of our stuff here. And we're drawing a card, and we've got the World Waker. Lovely. Just lovely. So what I think we're going to do here is we are going to, it's going to give us 3, 4, 2, 4. Okay, so let's go 1, 2, 3. 4, 5. We'll cast Nissa, who shakes the world. We're going to +3, putting some +3, 3+1/+1 counters on that land to untap it. Then what we're going to do is we're going to tap this for 3, 2 green and a white. And we're going to tap that for 4, 5. We're going to cast Nissa, the World Waker. And we're going to +1 Nissa to make a creature a 4/4 elemental with trample till end of turn. And we're in pretty good shape. We got 2 board wipes here. Selesnya Creature lands, folks. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section what this deck is all about. You tell me. This is MTG Burgeoning's Kitchen Table Series. We are out.